All right, so we are here at the roof vent. Gonna go ahead and take the cable out here in just a second and get this going. Just make sure that our camera head is nice and clean. So we're going down the vent stack to access the sewer line here. Does look like, so there's like a connection there, most likely for the bathroom sink. You know, a little bit of corrosion scaling on that, cast iron line there. Normal for the age of the line. So now we're in the actual sewer line itself. Cast iron honestly looks pretty good. A little bit of debris right there, but nothing like too concerning. We're really looking for like trenching in the line, which is where instead of it being like a total circular shape, it has a little bit of a divot in the bottom of it, which indicates that the line is weak. Just wait for this jet to pass over. That's the scaling. It happens over time from the water running through the metal. But overall, this line looks pretty good, especially for the age of the material. I don't see any cracks or deformation in the line. Junction here, the junction is a little bit offset, but it's not offset to where it's going to cause any issues because it's making that jump down instead of having to like go up and over the lip. So all right, just taking a look at that turn. So the turn looks good. And then like I said, it's normal for the age of this line for it to look that way. Does look like somebody did do a repair here because this is an ABS material and then there's a junction off to the side of the line there. So does look like somebody did do a repair on the line at some point. A little bit more scaling on this side of the line here. Like I said, still kind of in the normal range for an older cast iron line. We'll just continue the inspection. So some pretty significant scaling right here. You can kind of see how when we go past it, the camera goes down. And then when we come back over it, it kind of goes up. Like, see how it kind of goes up and down and then comes like down and up when we're coming back over that. So that's some scaling that, is kind of significant. But once again, it's normal for these lines. It's just something I like to point out that, probably in the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to start seeing issues. But that is also just an estimate based off of other houses that I've worked on. Does look like we have some standing water here. And it does look like there's quite a bit of like decay. So we're gonna try to push past this point. Okay, which we did push past that into the clay line. So don't really like all the water sitting in there and all the decay that we're seeing there. You can kind of see right there that the line is offset where it's meeting with the clay there. So that's why it's holding water. And I mean, you can kind of see the big pile of debris sitting there, big pile of toilet paper. So that's why that's sitting there, is it because it's offset, you know, and I'm sure it probably hasn't caused a backup very recently, or it doesn't happen that often, but that definitely could be a source for backups in the future if it, you know, if it's not right now. But it really should be cut out of there and replaced with a section of ABS plastic that not only is flush to the connection of the clay, but also is graded properly so that we don't have that water sitting in the line there. Because that water sitting in the line, especially with the cast iron, is just going to decay the line over time. So it's going to make it a lot faster than if it doesn't have all that water sitting in there. But now we're in the main city lateral here. I'm going to push as far as I can. So that's as far as I can push, but you can kind of see up